This has been a year-long process they've been going through. They say they worked with local, state, federal agencies to try to make sure everything they did inside and around the stadium was safe for everyone. Also something they were doing, they did complete security sweeps last night all throughout the stadium. So you can guarantee if you don't have a credential or you don't have a ticket, you're not getting in there tonight. So there's something else, though, that they're warning about, some bad behavior going on around the stadium. And that's when you talk about the merchandise, the swag that everybody wants to buy. But how do you know if it's fake or if it's real? Well, the Now's Isabel Rosales is outside of the stadium right now, and she's going to tell us what we need to be looking out for. Isabel? Right, because everybody behind us right now having a great party. I see some people barbecuing. They're playing just
party time.
Right, it's party time. But for these players, it's a business trip, and that's what they kept calling it at Clemson. Even head coach Dabo Swinney said, if there's any team in the country that can beat Alabama, it's us. And that's what they were saying at Media Day on Saturday. It's a rematch from last year's title game. Bama's considered the dynasty team. Then there's Clemson, the team that can knock them off. Jesse Palmer is the guy who says he understands the pressure.
They also want to see a different side of him, which might be why we're seeing his wife actually do one of the opening speeches later this evening. We're told that she's going to portray Donald Trump as a good man, one who can lead this country fair and balanced. And that's one of the things that many of the delegates told us yesterday and the day before they need to see. On top of all of that, you still see that dark cloud of who Donald Trump is and what he represents, and that many people just don't like it. So much so, let me give you some numbers here. The Republican National Convention was supposed to raise more than $60 million for this event here in Cleveland, right? Well, they came up about $6 million short. A good part of that was supposed to be made up by some of the sponsorships that they were supposed to have, but Coca-Cola, Pepsi, FedEx, some of the big names decided they were not going to sponsor this RNC because of such a polarizing candidate. But with all of that, we are still expecting those 2,300 alternate delegates will be sitting around here. The 2,500 delegates will be sitting down there.
Now, Laura Harris joins us live now in Philly with the next move for the Democratic National Committee. Laura?
Dan Dia, they're in damage control right now, and there's no doubt that this was strategic on the part of WikiLeaks. You know, they've been known to be anti-establishment for some time now, the whistleblowers, if you will. Some 20,000 emails leaked. And there could be more. If you look at WikiLeaks' Twitter feed right now, it seems that they're starting to kind of give us an idea that there could be more emails they're going to be releasing at this time. So Debbie Wasserman Schultz has stepped down. She's actually sent in her resignation. That was yesterday. And here's the next thing, though. We're being told she's actually going to be here on the stage later on giving a speech to the delegates. And some of the Florida delegates I spoke with yesterday say, you've got to be kidding me. Where can you stop the bleeding? If she comes out here today, it could make things even worse. And we got a chance to speak with our political contributor, Dr. Susan McManus. And she says they're now operating in one of those things where it's a worst case scenario. Probably won't happen tonight, though, because we're being told Bernie Sanders, yes, Bernie Sanders, the person possibly in the middle of all of these emails who they were talking about, is supposed to take the stage later on this evening. We're also expecting to hear from First Lady Michelle Obama. Live in Philadelphia, Laura Harris, back to you.
And Laura, how do we expect Clinton's vice presidential pick to play a role in the uproar over those leaked emails?
Well, Senator Tim Kaine has been known as one of those people who's a likable candidate. He's been a mayor, he's been a governor, now he's a senator, he's fluent in Spanish, so they're hoping he's going to really galvanize that minority vote. So as you heard Dr. McManus say in that piece, the bottom line is they need to get him out here, and they need to get him out here quickly. It wouldn't surprise any of us if we see him before Wednesday when he's supposed to give his address. Back to you.
All right. Thanks, Laura. Laura Harris reporting live from Philadelphia.
We'd like you to meet someone, and he's not your average 25-year-old.
Bernard spends his evenings helping those who just can't help themselves while trying to keep his day job under wraps.
I've been doing it for about a year and some months now. This is just my first time picking you up.
Bernard is making sure Tim gets home from work safely.
There you go. I'm gonna put it a little tighter for you.
He drives for Care Ride, a wheelchair and ambulatory transportation service here in the Bay Area.
I call it like Care Ride Uber.
The 25-year-old says he learns something new every day from people like Tim.
By the time I get ready and everything, I pretty much had to work out myself. It gets tough sometimes. Sometimes you just don't want to go. Right.
Today's conversation, working out, something Bernard is familiar with. Yep, when he's not moonlighting at his $11 an hour job at Care Ride, he's number 18 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He usually tries to keep his day job from his passengers, but today we let Tim in on the secret.
Well, that was pretty impressive. Why is he driving Care Ride?
No, it's not community service, more like a necessity when he got cut from the Atlanta Falcons back in 2015. That's when he moved back to his hometown of St. Pete.
I was unemployed for maybe 3 or 4 months, and all my money in my savings was slowly creeping down, so I was like, I need to work. So came out, filled out the application.
And even though he's getting a nice paycheck from the Bucs now,
And I'm just blessed. This kept me above water, you know, when I was unemployed, so I felt like, why would I stop when I get a job back again? You take it easy.
clearly making his mark on the community he grew up in.
Everybody gets tired and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, it's not about yourself, and I'm just blessed.
Really awesome that he's sticking to it even after he doesn't have to, you know?
Exactly. He's the man who turned $40 in his pocket into a billion-dollar brand. Every Friday, you can see him right here on ABC on Shark Tank. And the shark himself, Damon John, is here live in studio with us, talking about his book, The Power of Broke. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so you're in Tampa talking about the new book. Very interesting title, though, The Power of Broke. What do you mean there?
Well, the power of broke is a power that we can all tap into, whether we have money and we don't, or if we don't, of course. And trust me, I'm here because I didn't have any money.
I know, and you built FUBU without any money. What's interesting in the book, you also talk about how being broke is more of a mentality. It's not so much how much money you have in your pocket.
Exactly. You know. Listen. I mean, we've all heard stories. A lot of winners and athletes.
Let's say people watching right now, they might not be entrepreneurs, but they might say, "Listen, I just want a way. I might have $1 and a dream, or I've got this great idea. Or I just want to do a little bit better with myself." What would you tell them?
Well, I'll tell them first of all, test the market. You have social media. We always talk on Shark Tank about having sales, but sales doesn't have to be hard cash. You can make a video of your concept out there, or show a video of stuff. And if you have 1,000 likes or 1,000 views, we see people with 1 million views of a baby laughing. That's a sale. And then you go and you sell that or license it out to somebody. And there's a lot of ways to do it. I see it happen every day, and you see it on Shark Tank all the time.
Well, speaking of sale, so this book is very difficult to come by in Tampa, but hopefully you'll be able to get a copy, and you can actually see Damon tonight. Where can we find you?
Yeah, I'm going to be at and you know what? I'm wrong. I've been wrong often. But all you need is one hit.
Exactly. I think it's cool that you were wrong, but you still got that one break, and look at it.
Listen, I'm still spending money from baggy jeans in '97, right? So it's okay.
There you go. All right, Ashley, back to you. When it comes to the #1 Googled question with Donald Trump, was he really for the Iraq War?
Google Donald Trump Iraq, and you will see the dozens of sources which verify that he was for the invasion of Iraq.
Wrong.
Well, our partners over at PolitiFact finding Trump, in fact, said he supported troops going into Iraq during a 2002 interview with Howard Stern. Question number 2. What did Justice Ginsburg really say about Donald Trump?
She was forced to apologize, and apologize she did. But these were statements that should never, ever have been made.
She, in fact, called him a faker in a CNN interview, saying he has no consistency about him. And what does big league mean?
We're going to speed up the process, big league.
Trump has said the word on several occasions, but there's a chance he could be saying big league. Either way, big league is in fact a real word. Dictionary.com tweeting out the meaning during the debate. Bigly is basically the adverb of the word big, or huge, if you will. And the #4 Googled question about Donald Trump, did he really call Hillary Clinton a nasty woman?
My Social Security payroll contribution will go up, as will Donald's, assuming he can't figure out how to get out of it. But what we want to do is to replenish the Social Security Trust Fund.
Yes, he did. Now the big questions that were Googled about Hillary Clinton. First and foremost, #1, what does Roe v. Wade mean? It's a woman's right to choose when it comes to abortion law, from the 1973 landmark decision by the Supreme Court. And Clinton's stance on it?
The government has no business in the decisions that women make with their families in accordance with their faith, with medical advice.
And a lot of conversation last night about the Clinton Foundation. So what really happened with that?
It's a criminal enterprise, and so many people know it.
There have been allegations of pay-to-play of sorts with the nonprofit, but Clinton claims it's an organization that has done nothing but help the less fortunate, including helping some 11 million people with HIV/AIDS treatment. This next one might be shocking, but I can't make it up. What did Clinton delete again? Emails, people, emails that were eventually recovered by the FBI. A few months ago, the FBI saying they couldn't find any evidence to criminally charge Clinton. And all this conversation about tax returns, many of you asking, well, where can I find Hillary Clinton's tax returns? I'll show you. She put them all up on her website, HillaryClinton.com.
Yeah, Tampa Mayor Bob Buckhorn with us right now, and basically saying that this is something that the city has been preparing for some time now. This is not just a last-minute thing.
No, it's not our first rodeo. I mean, we've been down this road a number of times. The best template was the Republican National Convention. We know what to expect. We train hard for this. We've been preparing for a long time. We've got our folks deployed where they need to be. You will see a lot of officers around the city, both in uniform and out of uniform, both in tactical gear and not. You're going to see the horses. You're going to see the dogs. You're going to see the boat patrol. We're going to make sure that everyone has a safe time.
There are some people out there asking, well, are you going to add any extra officers? What are you all planning to do with that?
Well, obviously, after what happened this afternoon in Fort Lauderdale, there's a heightened sense of awareness. But it's all about execution. The plan's in place. The manpower is in place. We may change some tactics, but we're going to be ready. We'll be ready for whatever they throw at us.
And you all have been planning for this for years now.
We have. I mean, we've done so many of these, 4 Super Bowls, Republican National Convention. We know how to do these events, and so that template already exists. All we have to do every event is fill in the personnel, deploy the resources, and we're ready to go.
And people should use common sense when they talk about their own safety.
Well, if they see something, say something. That's the best thing that they can do for us. Use common sense, situational awareness, keep your head on a swivel, look around. If you see something that doesn't look right, tell a police officer.
Tampa Mayor Bob Buckhorn, thank you so much for being with us. And again, we are at the Tampa Convention Center right now in downtown Tampa. Fan Zone, the doors are open right now. It closes today at 8 o'clock, and then it's open again tomorrow. And on Sunday, opens at noon.